Okay. It seems to be recording. So it is written. When Ryan gets home super late from work and needs to record something, chances are it's going to be Major Minor. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Ryan, aka the Ryan, and we have returned to Major Minor. To think, I was thinking of either doing this or recording me trying to record something Total War related, but it's been a goddamn minute since I played this game, and even though Mark doesn't watch the fucking series, despite him winning the contest fair and square and making me play this, I'm gonna be a man and keep my word and continue on with this. The last time we were here, we were in a bar, and we were about to go down into a deep dark basement to have a conversation with a shirtless bear. Yes, I know that sounds bad. The stairs creak heavily as I enter the cellar. In a way that would destroy any attempt at stealth. There's no doubt about it. He knew I was here. He knew I was coming. But at least he'd be able to tell that I came alone. But then where was he? I finally reached the bottom. The cold floor sends shivers quickly up my spine. The only heat in this place is the flicker of the candles. I take steps forward, looking at all the wine. There's so many bottles. So many varieties. No. I had the weird thought in my head. It was like, Ruben should bring the office here for team night. And it was like, No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. Did Pink Bunny and Fidget brew this all on their own? I scanned this place to the best of my ability, but I rolled a 1 on my perceptive roll. But for the life of me, I can't find Righty. Hey. Now everyone look to your right. What the fuck was that? I jumped through the air in fright. How in the world did he get behind me? Why are you on the left? Oh, did I frighten you? My apologies, Ryan. Do you make sure to close the door? I nod. He seems pretty paranoid about all this. Either that, or he's about to tell me something big. I'm actually not sure what would be worse right now. So instead, I stare at him with inquisitive silence. Listen, I'll make this quick. Your real name is Lefty because you're not on the right side of the fucking screen. Wasting time isn't in my nature. I've been following you. Since I got here, you mean, right? He's been following me? That's really creepy. Ever since you arrived in Terra, I watched you drop into that forest. I watched you make your way to Rayleigh. Rayleigh? Riley? I'm gonna call it Riley. That must be the name of this town. I know who you are and your mission here, so you don't have to hide anything from me. Why would he be following me like that? And how did he know about the ritual? I can't help but shake this feeling. I feel like everyone has been lying to... So that means he also feels like the assassins were lying. This is your face. But he's right, everyone has been lying to me. Like, Dog God is lying to me. I see him again, he's fucking dead to me. I don't think you fully understand things. I think you might be right. But then again, neither do the assassins. They are simply being used by the king. Nani? Give me a chance to explain myself first. I assure you that I am not against you. I value your life and your safety. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have. You know, I think I believe him on that. I think I do. After all, I'm blocking the only exit. That's a pretty terrifying way to reassure me. I feel like I should use that somewhere in my pitch when I'm at work. You know, people answer the door, I'm standing there, try to explain who I am, why I'm there. A lot of people are nervous, no doubt. I mean, they don't know me. Just a stranger shows up at their door. I should tell them that they should feel fine. If I was there to hurt them, I would have, because I'm blocking their only route of escape. But he spoke the truth, as harsh as it was. So please, hear me out, I beg you. Only until you move to the right side of the screen, dude. You're throwing me off, Lefty. You are about to make a terrible mistake. I shrug and decide to listen. I wasn't in a position to make an educated decision. I moved to a wall and pressed my back against it. Better get comfort for what I'm about to hear. Now, where should I begin? He takes a few moments before speaking, as if he's lost in thought. Let's start with the issue of Velasquez. I have some very condemning evidence. I had a joke. I'm not sure if I... fuck it. Now listen, kid. I have some very incriminating evidence against Hillary Clinton. And that's when he gets assassinated. I mean, and that's when he commits suicide. Oh! He's lying! Playing out a sinister scheme. He's touted you as the savior to everyone. Thanks to your friends, this is spreading. But I know this was also part of his plan. The more people that talk about you, the easier it'll be to hide his true intent. He lets his citizens spread the rumors. I have to be wary of what he says. I was told he could resort to deceit. You told this by the assassins. If he's against them, he's against the king as well. So it makes sense that he wanted to change. They want me to change sides. Now, I don't know exactly what he's hiding, because he's extremely good at hiding it. But I just know that it's there. Enemy and Conrad are too far gone to see. Now, I'm glad I didn't become an assassin. I was close, but backed out near the end. Velasquez had a ruthless litmus test. And in order to join, I had to do something unthinkable. Did it involve killing someone? Was one of the tests to become an assassin killing someone? Motherfucker, talk! You want me to trust you. You do. You want to know how you get someone to trust you. You fucking talk. If you let me know now what the really fucked up things that your ex-friends do and did and try to make you do and did, that might help me make a decision in the future. You can't, come here. You can't tell someone that you can't trust another side of an argument because they did fucked up things, but you can't tell them what they were. Motherfucker, talk! Do you have any idea how many stories in history when it go back up there? Am I going to the spot again? Do you have any idea how many stories in existence wouldn't exist if people talk? But I get it. There needs to be conflict, right? There needs to be suspense. No, motherfucker, because that's not what real people do! I get it, it's fantasy. I'm trying to put logic in a world where I was apparently sucked up through a space vacuum and planted into a goddamn universe of anthropomorphic creatures, and then sucked up again by a dog god and planted in another universe of anthropomorphic creatures. And yet here I am asking, where's the logic? Where's the beef? I swore an oath of secrecy back then. No matter what, I am still honorable. Drop it, Ryan. Drop it. I had a man undercover in the castle. His job was to extract anything he could. I'm led to believe he found something big. I know you may not believe me, or at least my word alone. So that is why I have evidence. Velasquez caught my undercover agent. He directed his efforts into capturing him. His name was Kaylin. My top mercenary. Okay, I'm digging through my memory banks. An image of Kaylin is popping up. Image has been found. That is your top mercenary? Please tell me it was nothing more than info gathering, 'cause holy fuck. You might as well... Who's your second best mercenary then? Fucking PB?! Why am I getting crazed? What? Hey, I recognize that name. That's who Enderman and Conrad are expecting mail from. Does the plot thicken? Kaelin was undercover as a royal servant. Velasquez needed him silenced immediately. So he gave Kaelin a condemning order. He asked Kaelin to help ruin Player. They plant fake evidence in his estate. Together, they'd ruin his campaign. If he denied, his cover would be blown, and his reputation as a mercenary ruined. You're useless if you can't hold your cover. Velasquez had him in a checkmate. He had no choice but to accept the mission. So he went on to dispute Player's rally. Isn't it extremely convenient? Kaelin now rests in a prison, silenced. The one man who could help expose Velasquez. It seems a little too precise to be a coincidence. An enemy and Cameron helped the king. They think they are exposing Lord Player. But this was a ploy to get Kaelin in jail. Your friend will find his mailbox empty. Velasquez has already attained his goal. The empty mailbox will be proof enough. Player has top-notch security in his estate. What the fuck is in my pocket? When did I get a spare button? I got sidetracked. Kaelin will not be allowed to follow through. He will simply starve and die in prison. I know that Velasquez hates Lord Player, but his plan has nothing to do with that. If anything, he wants Player to help out. Player will keep Kaelin under constant watch, and after a week he'll starve to death, taking all the evidence with him. That makes sense. Things are starting to come together. Everyone in Terra seems to be connected somehow. This political puzzle is finally starting to take shape. Game of Thrones, this is not! Enemy and Comrade are too far gone. They would never question their king, no matter how odd the order seemed. Kaelin was very skilled at stealth. There was no reason to capture him. He could have planted evidence in the night. And why not ask Enemy and Conrad? They have Player's unconditional trust. They could have easily planted evidence. It makes absolutely no sense. But they serve without question. I fear they are leading you to your demise. And if you doubt what I'm saying, well, they did the same to Kaelin. He will die unless he gets broken out. Even when they find their mailbox empty, I don't think they will realize the truth. They will still take you right to the king. Even if that means leaving Kaelin to die. You see, they are blinded by money. Something they often accuse me of. But me, I value your life. I want to keep you safe from the king. And safe from those two heartless killers. Please, help my cause instead. Together we can rescue Kaelin. And in the process we can expose Velasquez. I'm sure that you hold common sense. That is the boldest statement I have ever been given. Oh, God. We can't just let Kaelin die in a cell. Nor can we let Velasquez win like that. Ellipses. Upstairs, I was just putting on an act. I wanted it seems like a sales pitch. Please maintain that facade for me, okay? If they ask you what happened, tell them you refused my offer to help. Do not reveal anything I have said to you. He lets out a sigh. I wish I could have gone to you first. It would have spared so much trouble. No doubt you are extremely confused. If I found you first, you'd be fine. It makes more sense with a clear head. An open mind. Like the other one had. Nani? I'm not sure what to do. Lots of information is conflicting right now. But Righty hasn't hurt me yet, so there's that. Wait a minute. Did he...
Did this just dawn on you now? Why? Why is that not the first thing you ask?
Because of Kaylin, I knew about the rituals. Today, I was able to intercept it. I was hoping to grab you, but I couldn't. For some reason, the ritual brought two. So instead of you, I got someone else. Perhaps they can convince you as a friend. He turns his head to the darkness of the cellar. You can come out now. A shadow emerges from the darkness. And at that moment, I was utterly shocked. Monica? I saw the last person I expected to see on Terra. What the fuck? Can't...
They brought my bro! Oh, fuck me, relentlessly at the ass.
Rowdy. Rowdy. They brought Kayla. They brought our bro! Okay. Oh, man. Oh, whoa, yeah. What's up, Keela? A familiar face. Oh, sure. Meanwhile, back on Earth, a shady back alley laid into the night. Why is that reminding me of a song right now? God damn, what was the name of that song again? It's gonna drive me insane. Fuck. There is such little glory in a poor man's life. He works for his money, but it takes a while. But a poor man's son can be a hero in the night, with a fistful of anger and the will to fight. Enough, there's nothing to do with it. So, how are you holding up? Sir, your nose appears to be glowing. Seriously, what two animals fucked and made you? I'm tired. Oh shit, they're both covering in the glowing tattoo shit. You shouldn't have woken me up. Shock. You needed to know. Don't give me any of that nonsense. You and Clace went way back. So? I just wanted to talk to you about this. I know it must be affecting you somehow. You were childhood friends, you know. You should go back to your contest winners. Seems to me that they were more obsessed. Why don't you go interrupt their sleep? Don't be stupid. Listen, you know I care about you. Oh shit, did that just count as a fucking sponsor? Ah, fuck. I don't think anyone saw my drink. If I were in your shoes, I'd be I don't know why that's so fucking funny to me right now. I'm just doing what's appropriate, Shock. This affects you more than it does them. Holy fuck, my lungs hurt. Who are you to say what affects me or not? Stuff your nose in that tablet, Rook. It doesn't belong in my personal business. Ellipses. Sorry for caring. I know why you really call this meeting. You don't care how I feel at all. You care about whether or not I'm staying. Now cut to the chase. None of this is about my friend. It's all about how our careers will change. Shock, I really do care. I know what it's like to lose some... I'm sorry, but General Hospital will be right back after these messages. I've been in this exact situation before. Really? Are you talking about with Eclair? Because I'm pretty sure that was all 100% you being a douchebag. Is that so? That's not what I heard. I heard that you like to abandon others. I'm gonna shift over here and kind of be on the side of Shock right now. It's the reverse, Rook. People lose. You drop it. Drop the fucking hammer. If I wasn't lazy as fuck with editing, I would put in the I'm not a rapper, rap god dude with all his friends going, oh! Grr. Now I told you to cut to the chase. What's the real reason you called me here? Fine. I guess I'll pretend not to care. There's something you're good at. Fuck! This dude is savage! Singe decided to restructure the tour. Opening night will be memorial service. You know, like a vigil in Clace's honor. Really? Singe has sentiment? Well, I guess you could say that. But, oh god. But he did it to minimize refunds. The fans will still want to attend. That makes no fucking sense. Oh wait, no, that makes more sense. Here I thought he might have grown a heart. Ellipses. He wanted me to ask you something. If perhaps you make a little speech. You know, as a childhood friend of Clace. The fans might want to hear your voice. It could give the vigil more impact. That depends. Is this paying? I'll think about it. Really? He was one of your best friends. This is his memorial service, you know. You really have to think about it? Dude, I don't think they're on best of terms then, Rook. Like, maybe Clace was a fucking douchebag and slept with his sister. Maybe? Indeed, I do. You have a problem with that? No. Also, there will be a big announcement. Daz will take Clace's place in the tour. We would appreciate if you stayed. Rocker's going to stay. He's pledged his service to Daz. What do you think about it, Shock? What do you think about that, Shock? I think that I'll have to think about it. Very well. Can I go now? I suppose. But first, about the contest winners. They're not precious. What the fuck does Keela and I have to do with this right now? The contest was Clace's idea, Shock. I did it for him, and now he's gone. They'll wake up to some horrible news. Yeah. Huh. Assuming they haven't heard it already. In fact, we might even send them home. Singe needs to decide what we'll do. I'll have you know they don't impact me. Why bring it up? Why do you care? Why does he care? I don't think Shock cares. I don't think we care. Got it. And about what you might be feeling, just please do me one favor, Shock. Don't make the same mistake I did. With all due respect, Rook, only you could screw up that. Shock storms off, pushing Rook out of his way. Wow! And people think I'm a jerk. Oh, hi, Daz. Where the fuck did you come from? Girl, you gotta fucking warn me when you fucking pop onto the screen, cause god fucking damn. What's happening? Well then, what's gotten into him? Oh, there you are, Dad. What are you doing in a dark fucking alley in the middle of the fucking night? I think he skipped a few steps. What, of the grieving process? Yes! He went right into anger stage of grief. That's a fact. I can see it on his face. I guess we all handle things differently. Yeah. Some more harmful than others. Thanks for coming to see me, at least. No problem. Is there anything I can do? If I can help in any way, please tell me. Well, I know that you were with Singe. Perhaps you have some information for me? Aside from your promotion, I mean? Singe told me about that directly. But I don't know much else. Other than the changes to opening night. Well, I talked with Rocker for a bit. He seemed more interested in mythology. I know a couple of people like that. So I tried to get out of there quickly. Sounds like him. It's admirable, though. He's still able to study while abroad. If only he didn't show it off all the time. Yeah, it can be a little troublesome. I could give you a big lecture, though. Especially on the creation of Japan. You're implying I couldn't do the same? Remember, I work with him every day. Well, anyway, about the murders. I think there's been a breakthrough there. Really? You think I know about that? My mailbox is usually flooded all night. The police are even keeping it a secret, but they found a culprit. At least for half of the cases. This person confessed to being a copycat. They were responsible for the gun murders. Interesting. They have a solid alibi for all the other cases. So now we're left with a bunch of suicides. So the real mystery still isn't solved. We can solve this fucking case in a heartbeat. Get me Sam and Dean, Winchester, Castiel, and the entire fucking Scooby-Doo gang. People are taking through. Okay, yes, I have been told that that is an episode. I'm not at that episode yet. I'm still binging through all the other ones. I'm catching up. Yes, I've been told it's glorious. Yes, I've been told it's the greatest mashup tag team in all of history, and yes, including the Avengers shit. Even if they're completely healthy. And with no evidence left behind either. It seems as if the bodies are moved. It's the only way this makes sense. So there's another killer out there then? It seems to be that way. But the police don't care. They're closing the case in the morning. They'll just be labeled as suicides, even though that's physically impossible. Indeed. Anyone could realize that. The crime scenes don't match the crime. Just double checking my time. A bit premature to close a case like that. Of course. But there's nothing we can do. If it's closed, we'll never know the truth. This leaves it in the hands of others. Like who? Like you? Do you want me to call Jonesy and the rest of the Pussycats? Wow, I never thought I would have made that fucking reference. Do you want to play detective though? I want to know who did this to us. Don't you? I want to know who killed him. I'd rather not know. Don't you read? Finding the culprit makes you a target. Just someone else they need to silence. I'd advise you to drop it, Daz. We don't need to lose another idol. Idols. We need to work on moving forward together. Fuck that. Revenge, Daz. Revenge. When I die, I want it I want it put on my tombstone. Avenge me. Figure it out from there. You have a point. But Singe doesn't back down so easily. He never does. What did he do now? He already has a suspect in mind. Clay's bodyguard. Really? Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. The murder started when we arrived. And the scene seemed expertly tampered with. It makes sense, given his background. He worked for the police before Singe. He'd be able to pull strings like that. Seems too simple to me. I thought so at first, but Singe called him for questioning. And that's where it gets more suspicious. It seems that he's fled Tokyo. Singe's office earlier that night. This chapter's going on for a bit. What do you mean he's fucking gone? It's just like it sounds. He's fucking gone. We can't find him anywhere. He might as well have vanished. How convenient. We found a letter in his room, though. It simply reads, "I'm sorry." An admission of guilt, perhaps? It doesn't seem that way. If he did this, he wouldn't be sorry. Not necessarily. In fact, he wouldn't leave anything behind. It seems to be more of a genuine apology. Perhaps he's ashamed that he failed us. It was his duty to protect Clace, after all. I think the letters of his resignation. Holy fuck. He couldn't face us again after this. Or maybe it was to throw us off the trail. Now he'll just go live in silence. We need to hunt for him immediately. Dude, you're a music guru. What are we doing? That's a pretty far-fetched theory. I don't mean any offense, Singe. Far-fetched coming from you? I thought you relished in far-fetched. Things being both alive and dead at once. You write about quantum mechanics all day. What kind of fucking music industry are we in right now? We're pop idols by day. We're mystery solvers by night. I now have the motherfucking Sailor Moon theme song stuck in my fucking head. And you say my theory is far-fetched? At least I've based mine on reality. Ellipses. I'm sorry, Jade. That was rude of me. It's just been a really long night. I don't think it'll end anytime soon. I'll accept your apology. You're under extreme duress, after all. Thank you. So what do we do now? I think we just move on with our lives. There's not much else we can do. We'll just pay attention to media reports. We're no detectives. Apparently Daz thinks otherwise. What is this fucking game? What is happening? What is happening? We're not police. We can't be expected to solve this, Singe. We have to drop it and leave it to them. If only it were that simple. I do agree, but we can't just sit around. The tour isn't going to run itself. We have lots to do, and so little time. First and foremost, a new bodyguard. We'll need to hire some protection, not just for Daz, but for everyone. I have a few candidates gathered here. I went on a little hunt for CVs, and I've already run the background checks. Thank you, Jade. You're helping me stay safe. I'm already gone. I don't know what I'd do without you. Don't mention it. I'm just doing what you pay me for. I'd recommend the candidate named Acheron. His past experience is very impressive. That, and he has a perfect track record. Very well. I'd like to see him. Can you call him here immediately? I'm sure he'll understand our predicament. Of course, Singe. But one more thing. What should we do with the contest winners? The sun will rise soon, and I have no idea. I had completely forgotten. It's always something, isn't it? Bring them to me when they wake up, okay? I'll decide what to do when I meet them. This has turned into one huge headache. He takes a deep breath and places his hands on his head. I completely misread that, and it's too long to go. It's too long. It's too late to go back. I think that is the sign that I am fucking tired. It might be better to just send them home. End the chapter! End the chapter! I don't have a pause button. Why? I stare in shock for what seems like an eternity. My mind is bombarded with impossible questions. A cacophony of thoughts and voices assault my mind. That's me on any given day, bro. How on earth did Keela end up in terror just like that? Hey, are you okay? I feel like your first question should have been, what the fuck? But instead it's asking if I'm okay. You're good people, I think? I don't know who I can trust anymore in this. You look like you've seen a ghost. I don't really believe in ghosts all that much. But I assume I feel the same way at seeing one for real. This is the last possible thing I expected to happen. Snap out of it, okay? There's lots to talk about here. That much is true. I'm snapped back into reality. And oops, there goes gravity. Perhaps a thorough explanation of this can help me. Because right now, I'm still wondering why Keela is here. I decided that this is a good question to start with. What the fuck are you doing here? Well, I remember one last thing. we were in the hotel watching some TV, and they reported that Clace was killed. Righty's ears perk up at the mention of the name Clace. At least that's what it seemed like to me. Oh, it's possible he was confused at the word TV. That actually makes more sense. But then, that's all I remember from Tokyo. As quick as I saw that, I was here. I thought I was hallucinating or something. I panicked and eventually collapsed. I ate a face full of soil, embarrassingly. I was on the ground for a really long time. That is, until this guy found me. He motions his head towards Righty, who's on the left. Yeah, that's how it happened. I didn't think the ritual would bring two. So as soon as I could, I snatched Keela up. I was too late by the time you came. Enemy and Comrade already got you. Our only option was to watch and sneak. I had to find a chance to get you alone. That's why I invited you down here to talk. Keela's told me a lot about you as well. Can I continue now? Yes, of course. Right. Righty told me his side of the story. Let me just say, it makes way more sense. I think you're following the wrong guys. Endymion and Conrad are too gullible. They believe anything the king says. They don't even realize that they're slaves. I don't think slaves are paid, Keela. I think those assassins are being paid. That's what you do. I'm not sure how to make this any clearer. The king does want Lord Player to lose. But this Caelin matter is totally separate. There are blatant holes in their orders, but they're too loyal to the king to see. They follow without a single objection. But Righty here thinks before he acts. He's not a thrall to this Velasquez. I think he's the good guy here, Ryan. Keela, my bro, the more and more of this story that keeps playing out on the terror side of things, the more I'm starting to get convinced that the both of us should find a way to get the fuck out of here. What do you think? You have my back, don't you? Honestly, don't know. I'm so confused. Some of this makes sense, but some of this is fucking outrageous. I start to piece it all together in my head. Keela didn't mention the Ark, but I never mentioned the Ark. Yes, my bro, you are a special snowflake. Dude, when we met him, he was lying about why he was here. Because he won the contest as well. We were both brought here to a foreign land, given instructions not to tell anyone about who we are, how we got there. It makes sense that he got here before me then. The man in the Ark didn't intercept Keela's trip. But I still have no idea why Keela was brought here. Is it just because she was beside me when I was taken? I explained everything to Keela. He had a revelation about the ritual. He said that your world suffers from it. Oh, right. I nearly forgot about that. This whole world and the ritual? It ties into the Midnight Deaths. Your two friends, Endymion and Conrad? The ritual they're performing? It's the sole cause of the Midnight Deaths. Interesting line of thought. I asked him to elaborate. I want to see if his thoughts line up with my own. Well, the ritual is once a day. And it had to be at the same time, too. The same rules as the Midnight Deaths. There's a time difference, though. Midnight on Earth could be daytime here. Regardless, the ritual steals an Earthling. And when an Earthling comes here, they die. At least, they do on Earth. For some reason, they live on in Terra. There's no other explanation. Are you telling me that we're fucking dead back in our hotel room, Keela? No one's walked in on that hotel. They're letting us sleep. Clace is here. Clace is here. Clace is here. Everyone is here. It doesn't take their body, it takes their fucking soul. And soul manifests physically in fucking Terra. What is happening? It makes sense, but there are a few glaring holes. If we were brought here after midnight, we were still able to hear the news of Clace's death. I challenge his theory with that fact. Hey, you're right. In that case, I don't know. Furthermore, his theory assumes some odd things. First of all, that Clace is alive and well on Terra. And second, that we're both dead on Earth. I decided not to tell them about the Ark. I play alongside his process of thought. If this theory were true, there would be 3 rituals. One for Clace, one for him, and one for me. I direct that challenge to Righty. It was only ever performed once a day. Those were Valesqua's strict orders. I don't think they would disobey him. Can't be a coincidence, though. They're way too similar to ignore. You and I standing here is proof of that. A small timing issue can't prove me wrong. Everything still kinda lines up. That's not true at all. Clace isn't with us, and Righty says the ritual was only ever performed once. It pokes holes all over Keela's theory. But there has to be a reasonable explanation. Unless other parties were doing rituals. Perhaps the ritual brought all of you. But you just travel at different speed? I don't know! Fucking wormholes! Science! This would compensate for the difference. No, it can't be that. We were still on Earth past midnight. Let me think about this for a moment. If Eclair shows up in the next scene, I'm walking out that door, and I'm never coming the fuck back. I've got it! You know, the news report? It was on TV an hour after Clace's death. What if time on Terra just moves faster? If 1 hour there is 1 day here, oh my god, I think he's got it. That explains everything perfectly. The ritual one other day brought us here. It also explains why we never saw Clace. We came here a day later than he did. He could be anywhere by now, you know. That's actually really possible. It's not an overly huge difference. Besides, Enemy and Comrade did talk about time's flow. I still dislike the implication that we're both dead. But some of this is just wishful thinking. We don't know the specifics about either world, namely, the amount of rituals and midnight deaths. If we did, we'd be taking steps in the right direction. But then again, there are too many coincidences at play. I'd have to stop to considering the deaths a mystery now. We needed specifics, but it clearly involved Terra, and the King's ritual is the most probable cause. Keela believes the ritual is responsible. Enemy and Comrade are the murderers. There's logic behind his theory as well. Either way, we can't learn the truth. Not while chilling down in a wine cellar. I'm sure you can agree with me on that one. Righty cracks his knuckles loudly. He then stares down at me menacingly. Only one very important question remains. One that you can answer here and now. Who do you believe? Will you go back upstairs? Will you travel with Enemy and Comrade, even though the King lies to all of you? Or will you come with us? We can rescue Kayleen as a team, and this testimony will expose Velasquez. I can't guarantee your safety if you leave. I won't be able to watch over you anymore. But if you side with us, I'll keep you safe. We'll help Kayleen reveal the King's motives. That may be how you really save Terra. We're under the hand of a tyrannical ruler. You're gonna come with us, right? I mean, we're friends and stuff. This is a hard decision to make. If I side against Enemy and Comrade, they'll hate me. We just fucking met everyone, come to think of it. I'd probably make enemies out of Velasquez assassins. But on the other hand, Kayleen might not have proof. The King may not even be as bad as Righty claims. There's also the risk of the rescue mission failing. Then I'd have assassins out to get me. Siding with Righty and Keela seems very risky. I may not be able to complete my mission as savior. However, I side with Enemy and Comrade? Then Keela and Righty might become my enemies. But Enemy and Comrade will bring me right to the King. I'd be able to hear the plan from the man himself. This would be the easiest route for me to take. Especially if I want to help the man in the Ark, who we saw in a scene that ourselves would have not seen, on how Arkman, Dog God, is apparently lying to us, and he's in with Velasquez's weird plan. But what if Velasquez did want to use me for evil? There's a chance that meeting him could condemn me. Once we're face to face, he could do anything. And what if Enemy and Comrade have a secret agenda? They are assassins, after all, not peacekeepers. This is a tough choice indeed. I wish it was as easy as the choices back in Tokyo. Things are getting far less black and white on Terra. I stand in silence thinking what to say. Yes! Save! Save, and I'm ending it there! Cliffhanger! Been at this for too long now. Holy fuck, this chapter was long as goddamn hell. Folks, when we return, we are apparently making a choice. Who do I believe? Who do I side with? Oh God. All... You guys know that story. If you liked what you saw here, like the video, subscribe to see more, hop on board the Discord channel, follow the Facebook page, follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch. become a Twitcher. And we will make that decision on how this will go right now. Revolution!